April 8th workout breakdown. It is leg day. Seems like there's a lot going on here. First of all, obviously monthly emphasis strength under fatigue, so keep that in mind. Week 7 still of Urban Legend, and the 8th mini cycle, a workout or week, however you want to go about viewing that for those of you that have been following along. I will start with the regular workout. I like workouts like this, and from feedback I've gotten, I think a lot of people enjoy the opportunity to pick what they're doing. My only concern from a trainer's perspective, from a programming perspective, is people just simply pick the thing they like the most, not the thing they need to work on the most. So just try to keep that in the front of your mind when you're making the decision as to what you should be doing right here. But the lifting option, well, I guess we could start with the warm-up. Like, the warm-up is there. I do think it's valuable enough for everybody to do it. Not only is it valuable enough from a physical standpoint, but again, it just doesn't take up a lot of time to do these mini band stuff. So it's great for your entire hip complex and everything. That a lot of times we just spend no time strengthening, and we just do a lot of sitting around creating muscle imbalances on a day-to-day basis. So anyways, I would strongly push for people to do the mini band stuff. The lifting option on the left-hand side, if you've been following the mini cycle, like, you definitely want to do this. I put it in blue right there. Like, this is pretty much where we would end on the 8th week of the mini cycle, giving you an opportunity. Again, we're not worried about necessarily maxing, but it gives you the best opportunity to lift as heavy as we've lifted in these 8 weeks. Which again is valuable, and it's not overly pressure ridden, right? Like a 1-rep max is. So I would strongly suggest you guys do that. Now, if you haven't been following the mini cycle, you can do any of those 3. Like, there's just the foundational 8 to 12 reps, 50% plus, like, completely fine. If you want to work on the technicalities and the line of motion and all of that, then the 8 to 10 reps with a pause is obviously right up your alley as well. All of them are great. The mini cycle is there as kind of the back end finisher for the 8 weeks. And then you just go whatever you want. The deadlifts, reverse lunges, calf raises, totally fine with me. If you want to go the Metcon option on the right-hand side, you can do that as well. I love the Metcon option. These are movements I all thoroughly enjoy. They string them together. They flow really, really well. When I mean step overs, keep in mind, it's not step ups. Like, verbiage does matter. Like, you're going up and over the box and coming on the other side. It's a little bit more technical, a little bit more... I guess the minute changes from stepping over the box and you step down is different than just stepping up and stepping down. It's harder is basically what I'm getting at right here. For those of you that do the front lunges, one of my favorite movements for sure in terms of volume, make sure you use the black mats, like whether it's the Rogue mat or just the square black mats. Like, they're so helpful. If you're not using those yet, I can't find a singular reason as to why you shouldn't use those. So I would strongly encourage you to obviously pull one of those out and do that. Now, if you're doing Urban Legend, if you watched yesterday's video on April 7th for chest day, this is a very similar setup. But again, I just wanted to make sure that I go over it and be very specific. So again, you're clocking your splits here. Hugely important. Your front squat, your body weight squats, you want to know how long that takes you, or just about how long that takes you. Now, the caveat to this is that there is nothing in front or behind it. So hypothetically, if you clock your split and it takes you exactly 5 minutes, you have to have the rationale and awareness to know that the likelihood is that you're going to have to add 30, 45, 60 seconds because of just accumulation of fatigue from the real Urban Legend, right? But your goal is just to get an idea of how you can flow through this, how comfortable it is. You can set up putting the weights down, picking them back up. How many sets do you want to do? Should I move my bench around? Should I put them on the floor? How do I kick them up? Like, there's so many little tiny things that you guys can work on here and kind of work those out before you actually get to the Urban Legend itself, especially if you've never done it before. And even if you have, like, just repetition is what makes you better and allows you to transition smoother. So this one, all week, again, chest, legs, shoulders, I think is a fantastic opportunity for you guys to really kind of zone in and refine and figure out to kind of a precise time how long it's going to take you to do these chunks of the Urban Legend. Following that, the 5 rounds, also important here. Like, I even put in a 1-minute rest, which isn't super common during the Urban Legend training, but an opportunity for you guys to know, like, this is meant to be aggressive. Like, these 5 rounds, you are meant to be explosive, you are over expected, and I put them pretty much right in order of how the Urban Legend is going to work. So you're going to bike, squat. Obviously in the Urban Legend you do bodyweight squats, but you just did them. You already squatted. I think step overs are great. A nice little change up that still works. Very similar to the bodyweight squats. And then another bike and then rest. Whereas in the Urban Legend, obviously, there would be no rest technically. But this gives you an opportunity to work on your output and your ceiling and elevating it. Now that being said, it is 5 rounds. Like, it's not a small amount. So for a lot of us, like 32 calories a round on the bike 5 times is going to add up. So you guys are going over expected. You still want it to be somewhat sustainable and consistent. So you don't want to blow yourself up in the first 2 rounds altogether. But you do have the 1 minute rest baked in. You can lean on that. A lot of times, especially those of you that are pretty conditioned here, 1 minute is enough time to turn over and go again. So I'm looking forward to this week. I think the Urban Legend is kind of coming to a cap here, and I'm hoping a lot of people are going to go into the actual workout pretty confident.